This time I have a JVC QLF4. This is the direct drive, fully automatic turntable that was out, I guess in maybe the early 1980s. It's got some features that others don't have, like multiple replays. It's a fully automatic turntable. And this one here came in, and the fellow that brought it in just said he was going to give it to his son, who was getting into vinyl, and it didn't work. So let's check it out and see what's wrong. Today I have a turntable to work on. This one's a JVC direct drive. It's a QLF4, fully automatic direct drive FG servo system turntable. Gonna check this over and see how it's performing. Okay, does not appear to be operational at all. Nothing. I do have power, for sure, because it's on the same power as this light, and this unit is not turning whatsoever. So it has a problem. Let's fix it. Oh, that's seized up pretty good. Like that is really quite stiff. We'll pull the bottom off the unit, check out the electronics. It doesn't appear to even be trying to start. I don't see any lights or anything. There should be a strobe light on here, which I'm not seeing. Let's check the fuse. There's 2 fuses in this thing. Why do you need 2 fuses? One's okay. Aha! That one's open. We have a blowed fuse. Probably because the motor itself appears to be seized up, and it was probably drawing too much current, and it kicked the fuse. This is a 0.5 amp, according to this. But this motor itself is really quite stiff. We got to deal with that, because it'll just do the same thing again, I'm sure. Because you see, this is really quite stiff, so we're going to try to pull this motor apart. It unplugs from the rest of the unit, just like that. Try to pull this piece apart, get into the bottom of the bearing, and throw some oil into it. So this should pull apart. There we go. Oh, look at that. Yummy. Yummy. It looks like it's been rubbing, actually. Look at this. Looks like this has been dragging on the base here. Definitely dry, the bearing though, for sure. Let's clean that up and put some oil in it and see how it spins. got the motor back together. It's spinning freely now. It's not making contact with the rotor's not making contact with the stator. There actually is a gap between them. The bearing is all the way down, as you can see. And turning smoothly. So I'll just remount the motor and we'll put a new fuse in and see if that fixes this one. This one was just brought in to me today, and the fellow that owns it is going to give it to his son who's just getting into vinyl, so he doesn't want to spend, it was his old turntable, he doesn't want to spend a lot of money on it. So I said I would look at it and see if it was something relatively minor, which it appears to be. Just a stuck motor and a pop fuse. Alright, let's see if it spins. Looks like it spins. Throw the bottom on it, throw the platter on it, and see how it sounds. Sometimes the bearings on these have been known to actually slip in the housing, which causes the rotor to drop. So I actually did check that out while I had it apart. I used to joke with people, that's why they had this opening in the bottom here, this cutaway, so that when the turntable started to drag, you could turn around and give it a whack and knock it back up. That's what we used to joke about these turntables. We used to call them junk very cheap. Back in the days I was working in the business, we always thought of JVC as being equipment that was, well, let's just say, they weren't Technics or Sony or Yamaha. Now, I'm not saying all JVC stuff is junk. It's not. They had some very good products. They had good TVs. They had some good cassette decks. In fact, they had a cassette deck out there. The TDV 1010, for example, was could be measured among the best ever made as far as performance-wise went. But a lot of their stuff we felt was a little bit on the lower end side of things. Okay, let's see here, flip that up. And I guess I better switch to the input for phono. It's going the exact speed. Can you see it on the strobe, or is it showing up on camera? Yeah, you can see the red dots, right? What I'll do is I'll check the balance first of all. I'm sure it's not set right, so we're going to just static balance the arm. So what I want to do is I want it to float. Turn off the anti-skating. There we go. So we adjust the counterweight so that the tone arm hangs level. The next step, of course, is to hold the counterweight and turn the calibration ring so that this is pointing at 0. And then I can turn the counterweight back in to 2 grams. And now my tone arm is balanced at 2 grams. And then, of course, set the anti-skate to also 2 grams. So if you have one of these JVC turntables and the actual motor is not turning or very stiff, check for dried up lubricant. I guess we should check the auto features of this unit as well. It has a record size selector, 17, 25, or 30 centimeters. Speed select over here, 33 or 45. It has a repeat. You can have it repeat the record over and over again if you want. We won't turn that on yet. Let's hit start. And make sure that it works. In fact, if I send this up to say 2, this should move this back automatically. If I move it to the end. You see that turned to 1. Like if you turn it to R, it'll just keep going forever. So you can have it replay the record up to 6 times or forever, or just play it once. So now this will move again. You'll see it move to 0, and then it'll turn to 0, and then after it plays this time, it should stop. And now it'll stop. Obviously, if I start it up, this is a queuing arm. It does queue. Okay. Reject. And there you go. Automatic functions work. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.